Okay, so sans rival roughly translates to no rival in French. It's Spanish? Oh no, I'm so wrong. Today in Essentials, we'll be making one of my favorite pastries, sans rival. So sans rival is a Filipino pastry that is actually based from a French pastry technique, which is called daqoise. Daqoise is meringue folded in with some almond powder. But the sans rival will be using cashew instead of the almond. You know why? Because it's what's usually available here. So the first thing that we have to do, and we are going to be mixing finely ground cashew and coarsely chopped. Set this aside. Now it's time to make the meringue. So here I have some 8 large egg whites. We're gonna start off at medium speed, low and then medium speed. Turn the speed up to high. So at this stage, this is the time wherein you'll add your sugar gradually. So I want this whole thing to have like a more solid white color. So right now it's at the stage where the whisk goes, like a trail would be left, like what they call ribbons. So, and the look is it's forming super soft peaks, and this is actually what we want. We don't want stiff, we want this. Now it's like doubled in volume, right? So that's what we want. Now it's time to put our meringue into the pan. Before putting in the parchment paper, I usually add some meringue so that it sticks. And there, just make sure it sticks well. Okay, so just put it in your pan. Flat spatula, offset spatula, I mean. Just want to spread it all out. Just want to make sure it's leveled, because unlike cake batters, this won't like melt into the space. It's just gonna bake as is. Siyempre, ginagaya ko na si Erwan eh. Okay, so now it's time to make the sans rival icing. So this time we're using French-style buttercream. Meaning, instead of the standard meringue using egg whites, we're using egg yolks, but still with syrup. So basically, we're still cooking the egg and then mixing loads of butter afterwards. So once we start seeing smaller uniform bubbles, I'm gonna start on my syrup by combining this water and a cup of sugar. I'm gonna bring it up to 115 degrees Celsius. So while I was mixing the egg yolks and doing this, I had someone soften up my butter. So there, it's 115 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing again on high. Now this is really important. You have to add this in a steady and thin stream, or else maluluto yung egg yolks. I'm just gonna mix it some more and then let it cool down completely. So this is the stage where we want our egg yolks to be. So this stage, you can add your butter. So we're adding our butter a little at a time. To the 8 egg yolks, I added around 2.5 cups of unsalted butter. Next is vanilla flavor. So just scrape the sides. Let's have one more go. Right, so here it is. This is the texture that you're looking for. Uniform in color, no unmixed butter. So this one's gonna be super rich because we used purely egg yolks. Now we are just gonna set this aside because we're still waiting on the meringue. So last 10 minutes and yeah, cool down, cutting, then assembly. So I made a big mistake. It's supposed to be 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I only set it to 150. That's why it took like twice as long. Well, if you set it correctly, it would take you around 45 minutes because what you want is like a dry layer. Cool down lang natin siya for a few minutes and we can start assembling. Right, so you're just gonna run your knife through the sides just so you can release it from the pan. There we go. Then we'll remove the parchment paper and we're ready to assemble. Cut it into 4. Yan. So next is time for assembly. So this is the French buttercream that we made a while ago. So when you spread your buttercream, make sure you don't lift your offset spatula. For the top, just a thin layer. And before we finish the garnish, let's put this in the fridge for 5 minutes. Top it with some more coarsely chopped cashew. Ayan. So, you know, we made a few mistakes here and there, but we still ended up with something that looks, in my opinion, pretty great. You know, it's so rich. The amount of buttercream I put. You know, one thing that I could change here is the texture of the wafers. If I didn't make the mistake and also put it in for like 10 to 15 minutes more in the oven, I would have had the crunchy and toasted texture that I wanted. But hey, this is still a Sansereval. And that's it for our Sansereval. But before we end, I'd just like to say one thing. I don't know if this is allowed, but I'd just like to say that sometimes you feel like you're not in a place or state of mind na gusto mo. But I want to tell you guys na there's always tomorrow could always change for the better. Or even if it's not tomorrow, it can be the next day. Pero at least there's a promise that it's gonna be better someday. And also, whenever I see people that are kind to themselves and kind to others, it just makes the world a little bit brighter and better. Ayan. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time, hopefully.